Hey folks, Dave here. I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And if you're new to the channel, I'll drop links to our projects and Lightburn tutorials down in the description. And you can check those out. And if you have any issues working through any of them, just let me know in the comments and I'll be glad to help out. So I recently done a video on creating monograms, just making them from scratch. So I done that project because I knew I had a order coming up where a lady wanted me to put a monogram on some wooden plates. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to put one on a wooden plate, and I will link the last video on how to create them. We're going to create one here, but for more detail, you can check out that video and just practice with it, and I think you'll be glad you did. Okay, so I used a free font from defont.com, and I'll put a link to that font, and it's Old English. So we're going to use those letters, cut them in half, and put a name in it, and then we're going to cut out a template from cardboard to set the plate in, and then we're going to burn this to a plate. All right, let's get right to it. So the name I'm working with is Sewell, S-E-W-E-L-L. So I'm just going to type a capital S, and you've got to resize these anyway for your project, so it really doesn't matter how big it is. So remember, you can use your mouse wheel to scroll in and out. You can push down and move the entire canvas around. So to cut this letter in half, we're going to make it so we can write the full name down the center of it. And like I said in the last video, I've seen people have these fonts for sale as vectors, and I try to make some things before I go spend money on them. So that's what we're doing. So I'm just going to grab a square and draw out a rectangle. I'm not measuring, I'm just doing what looks right. And we're going to put it up here, and we're going to cut part of this out in the center. And that looks pretty good. So now we're going to put lines top and bottom. So I'm going to duplicate this with Control D, pull it down, just resize it, pull it back inside the box, and if you get close, your cursor will change, and you can just snap that into the rectangle. But to do that, check your settings and make sure that Snap to Object, Snap to Grid are turned on, and it'll do that. So now we're going to get a copy, Control D again, and we're going to put one on the bottom right there. And it's not straight in there, but we'll get it there. All right. Then we are going to, that actually needs bumping to the right a little bit. Sometimes it don't act like you want it to, folks, but it'll be all right. We'll get it right there. Okay, with it selected, push the Shift key and select the top one, and then group those together. Then you can just pull them out of the way. We'll go back to our triangle, or our rectangle, I'm sorry. I got my shapes mixed up today. And we want to center this. So just select your rectangle. You always want to select the item you want to move first. And then you can Shift, select the S, and then do a center on that. And I know it looks off a little bit, but it's because of the shape of this S, so it's okay. So now we're going to subtract this out. Sorry about the whistling. I don't know what's going on. select your S, shift, select your rectangle, and then go over to the left to subtract. And then you can subtract that out. Now everything is grouped, so go ahead and ungroup it, and then group these separately, like so. So it'll grab those little pieces. Then group them back together as a whole. Now you can grab your pieces that we made here, throw that in there anywhere, shift, select, and then do a center on it, and then you can group all of that together. Now you can, if you need to move this down to make your lettering, make more space right in here, you can ungroup everything, and then you can select the bottom. We'll do it. So we'll ungroup, just in case you don't see the other video. I want you to be able to do this. So you can select one or the other, and then you can hit your down arrow or up arrow and make a little more space. We'll go ahead and make a tad more space in it. Grab everything and group it back together. So now we're just going to write out the name XTOOL and go back up top, and you can resize your font. It's good enough. And it's not typing for some reason. And I just made the S a capital and the rest small because all caps in this old English looks a little weird. So you can resize it. You could make it larger and then bump one of these up or down. But we're just going to go like this, and then shift and select everything and hit the bullseye, and it'll center it. If you want it to be closer, you can do that, but I think that looks pretty good. Now we're going to group everything together. I lost my train of thought for a second there. I do that. Okay, so we're going to set up a tool. So just grab a circle, push the shift key, and draw it out. Click your selector tool, and I believe this plate is about 203 millimeters. That's around 8 inches. And then we can center this, shift and select and do center. I think that'll be good. The plate is not completely flat, but it is pretty flat. So this will be we don't even have to keep this, but I'll turn it into a tool after we cut the template out of some cardboard. And this will be a fill, and on a 40-watt laser, this is speed of 100 millimeters per second and power of 40, and that should be fine. So let's get to the laser and cut this template out. Now with Lightburn, whatever you select is what goes to the laser. Unlike some softwares, if it's on the in the workspace, it's going to start processing. So we're just going to select the circle, and we'll cut that out and see how that works. Be right back, folks. Okay, folks, we'll cut this template out and then go back and disable the output on the line and slip our plate in underneath the laser head. It's got a slight lip on the plate, not too much, and then engrave its monogram. See what it looks like. Okay, let me clean this up and we'll get a closer look at it. Well, here's our finished project. I cleaned this up with some white vinegar and a soft cloth, and then put a light coat of food safe mineral oil on it. So if you try to do this and you have questions, just drop them down in the comments and I'll get you an answer. And I'll drop links down in the description for this font and for our last video that goes into a little more detail with the monograms. And I really appreciate you folks taking time to watch. It does help the channel grow. So just check back often for new videos. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.